Hi, everybody. Marc Tafolla, the policy director for Go Public Schools Oakland. Back with another quick update about the district's financial situation. Today, we're going to focus on some good news, which will be a little change of pace for us to, to focus on. But there's good things happening, and so this is all happening at the policy level. There are three policies that Go has been helping do research and writing on and advocating for at the board level, and we want to kind of report on what's happening. So. First is about budget presentations. All right, every time the district goes in front of the Board of Education, there's a presentation that says like, here's where the budget is, here's the assumptions we're making, like the progress to date, things like that. I myself struggle mightily with trying to look at the current way that like the budget information is being presented, and so. In the course of doing research, we found some best practices, and the board is moving through the process of adopting those best practices. You're going to see a lot more information over time about trends, about a budget narrative, things as simple as pages and like the way the graphs are constructed. That will just really increase transparency, which has been a long-standing complaint inside of Oakland. The second policy that we've been working on is a structurally balanced budget policy. Now you have two kinds of money coming in from the for education funding. One is one-time money, that's like grants and things like that. Okay, so you have you've been working with Bechtel or someplace like that. And the other is ongoing funding, and that is the kind of money you expect to come from the state every year based on attendance and things like that. What a structurally balanced budget policy does is expecting the district to make sure that one-time costs are being funded with one-time money, right? And so you're not funding a classroom teacher with a grant because you expect that to be there every year, all right? You should be funding a classroom teacher with the money that the district receives from the state because of student attendance, okay? This is a higher standard that's required, but what it does is it helps you unearth some problems and issues that happen inside of the budget problem if you don't do this, okay? And then finally, the reserve policy. Now, this is a policy that Go worked on with board members and advocated for around in December. And what it does is it improves the old policy in a couple of different ways. The first, it increases stability because it's increasing the reserve requirement. Right now, the board is at basically the state minimum in terms of for the amount of money in the reserve. And the reserve, just as a reminder, is basically the savings account. So things that if things go wrong, you're unexpected, that's the money that the board has to deal with those things. So an earthquake happens, lead abatement, like emergency, like happening right now. Those are the types of things that you can use to reserve for. If the board had a bigger reserve policy in place prior to the last couple of years, a lot of the mid-year cuts and instability could have been dealt with using the reserve rather than going through all the trauma that we've had in the last couple of years. And finally, the board actually then has more control over it now. So the superintendent has to come forward, make a case to the board that says this is a legitimate use of using our reserve, and now I'm going to make a plan for how to bring it back. So all this does is say if there are problems inside the system, that we're bringing it up in front of the board to say there's a problem, here's our steps we're taking to solve it, and this is how we're going to move forward. So those are quick updates for you. Like I said, focusing on some good news and looking forward to the next time. Thank you. Bye.